You already know. You guys are tuned in. Episode 58, the Best of Rivals podcast. I'm Jordan J. Will, and I got my boy D Bev in the building. What's good, bro?
Doing well, doing well. So much to talk about. January is over. The squads that we have are the squads that we have until the end of the season. So much to talk about, Jay. And we obviously got some crazy news this morning that we'll probably save to the end. Yeah, just a ton to talk about, Jay. Let's get right into it, man.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah,
Your boy is gone. He's going to Germany, bro.
he's not my
Jao
boy.
Cancelo. That is your boy. Don't front. No,
That's not my
that
boy.
that was City's boy. That was Manchester's boy in blue, not red, but in blue. He was running y'all squad for a little bit. He was. Stop it. Jao Cancelo at one point he was killing it for City, bro. Him and KDB. I'll give you that. Bernardo Silva was taking a day off.
Yeah, yeah.
It was that
Um,
type of story. But
yeah.
this is huge, bro. Let's talk about it. He is on loan. Let's clarify that. So there's the option he may come back, but he's going to Bayern Munich. How do you feel about that? Do you think you guys are losing out on something, or are you? It's whatever.
So there's a couple angles to look at this, right? So let's start with the first. I'm not. You know me. I like Pep. I don't love Pep. However, I do trust his instinct when it comes to refreshing the team and playing players that actually want to play and will give 100%. He's 100% right on wanting to um, distance Cancelo from the first team.
Yeah,
It makes all the sense in the world just because if you watch him play, you can see that he doesn't have the hunger and dedication to the team and the team winning and the team success like other players should. And when you're going up against a center back playing left back in Ake and an 18-year-old Enrico Lewis, yeah, if you're not performing, yeah, you're going to probably feel terrible about your position, right? You're going to feel like you're better than those guys, which you are, by the way. You're better than Ake. You're better than Enrico Lewis. We all know you are. But when you're not giving 110, it is what it is. So see you later, in my opinion. However, I do think it was an absolutely ridiculous business decision from our directors because if you think about this, Jay, we just lost one of probably our third most creative player on our team for nothing for the next 6 months, right? Um, Champions League, we need a guy like that. Premier League to finish out the season, we need a guy like that. So Ake at the end, as much as I love him, as well as he's played this season, he's not a left back. He's not very good going forward, even though he
yeah,
scored that
yeah.
that one wonder goal. So encompassing all of this, Jay, I want him at the club. I don't like how they did it.
You know,
Quite
you know,
simple.
you know what this sounds like to me. You are taking a step back on what you said. I recall you made a video and you said that Rico Lewis, you would take him over Jao Cancelo,
Yeah,
Kyle Walker. You were so
there's a
adamant.
reason.
You were so adamant with that, right?
Yeah,
And then next thing you know, because we all know they watch our podcast.
everybody does, Jay. The
Jao,
numbers don't show
hey,
it. The
yeah,
numbers don't show it, but
yeah,
everybody does.
hey, Jao, Pep, they all saw it. They was like, you know what? Send him out. He's gone.
Yep.
That's gonna hurt you, bro. It's gonna
Yep.
kill you because you said something. You said stuck to me. He was like one of your best creators. One of your three best creators, I guess. I don't know
Yes.
who you think that is, but he was amongst
K-
that group.
KDB on his game, Bernardo Silva
Okay,
and Cancelo. Yeah.
that's who I would think as well, right? You're losing that, bro, and we see that when KDB isn't on his, top level,
Yeah.
who are you gonna rely on? We're always thinking it's gonna be Bernardo Silva, maybe, and Jao Cancelo, creating wise, at least,
Yep. 100%. 100%. And we've now lost that for nothing. Now, if we do end up selling him because there was a buy option of 70 million euros, I think
Yeah,
that's a great price. I really, really do. I'd be so happy with that. But again, I'd be happy like securing that now versus it being an option for the summer. We're giving Bayern Munich way too much here for absolutely nothing in return. Um, again, I just think it's, and I'm not really going against anything I was saying. Like, I do this. I would play Rico Lewis. I agree with Pep. I would play Rico Lewis over those two. I just would. Is
you
he?
got a lot of slack for that too. A lot of
I
backlash.
I did, and until again, like here's the thing, right? Pep agrees with me, and then there's nothing else to really say. You know what I mean? Here's my thing: Rico Lewis is clearly the third best uh, fullback out of those three, clearly. But when you have such a big drop off like Kyle Walker, Cancelo again, he lost his starting spot to a center back and an 18-year-old. What? Who else do I have to
And then
choose, bro?
you know what he does? He gets an assist in his first game with the team. He produces, bro. That's
Yeah,
what he's saying. He said, "I did this. I won you guys titles as well. A
yeah.
key part. And you're gonna do me like this? You're gonna try to bench me with this young boy? I feel him. You know?
And here's the thing, I kind of do too. And this is why I think it's such a good. It's such a good deal all around. Except we didn't get the confirmation of the 70 mil
Yeah.
euros. If we
Eh,
did, I'm
Hey,
I'm so happy.
you know what this just affirms though? And I've always said it. Those Portuguese players, they play for themselves, bro. I'm sorry. It's not really for the team. Think about it. Think
Yeah,
about it. Think about it. Bernardo Silva wants to leave. You said he's going to Barcelona. We all know it.
yeah.
Sticking to buy. Jao Cancelo just dipped out of nowhere.
Dipped.
Was thinking is like a city legend, right?
Yeah,
Ronaldo, we saw what he did.
dipped. Here's the thing, right? Because like obviously we see the patterns, right? But at the same time, if I'm thinking about it, when we say Portuguese, then we're kind of excluding everybody else.
Yeah.
And there's one player who I've been thinking about this weekend
Who?
in this week, dude. Raheem Sterling doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Oh my god.
Listen, I haven't mentioned
Oh
him.
my
I
god.
haven't mentioned him in like
The
2 months, bro. But I was thinking about it, bro. He
Raheem
does not,
Sterling.
bro. He does
Yeah.
not care
Yeah.
what team he's on. He doesn't.
Well, I mean,
He,
come on. What do you mean?
Jay,
Him
Jay,
with
Jay,
Chelsea right now.
Jay. He has no loyalty. He does not care if the team does well. He doesn't. He's a super selfish player. Every time he comes off, he's mad. If even if he's justified to be on the bench, he's pissed. This is, bro. He is not. So when we talk about Portuguese players, like I get it,
Yeah.
we've clearly seen that over the last year or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
But bro, there's a lot of players
It's
you can throw in there
it's
too.
it's it's the Ronaldo mentality. He instilled in all of them. It's his
I, th-
children. No,
I think
no.
he did. I think he.
I'm messing
No,
around,
I think he did.
um, but no, yeah. I mean, I just think it's gonna be that's.
Quick question.
Go
Quick
ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Because we're
Go
just
ahead.
talking about the city perspective.
Yes.
Bayern Munich, they're obviously a Champions League contender. Does this help them a little bit? Does this help them
Hell yeah.
drastically?
Hell yeah, bro. They have a squad over there. Like people who don't really look at Bayern Munich as a threat. And it's funny because
Oh,
every year they are. Somehow they creep into the final. They're in a
yeah,
semifinal. And bro, they keep just getting really good players. They keep getting city players. They got Leroy Sané.
yeah, yeah.
Now João Cancelo. Pep's feeding his
His
former
former team.
squad his system, bro. It's a little relationship they have.
That's hilarious.
Who knows? Like I don't know, man. I think it's really gonna help them out because the Champions League, in my opinion, is wide open right now.
Yeah, 100%.
You
And the
don't know who's
champion,
gonna win.
and the thing about the Champions League, and we saw it last year when we got bounced out, when we should have obviously won that leg.
Yeah,
It's going to come down to moments, bro. And João Cancelo is a moments player. That's what he is. So, yeah, I
he
think this
is.
helps.
Yes,
I think this helps.
yes.
I think this helps him out
Great, great.
drastically. The only issue potentially is that he's going to be playing on the right when Davies is playing on the left, and
Yeah,
he can obviously play right back, but I think he's a little bit better on as a left back, like an inverted fullback. So maybe that's the only thing. But yeah, he's going to do really really well over there, and they're probably going to sign him at the end of the summer. Again, the only reason I'm not super in love with this deal is because we didn't make it a sale, immediately or an obligation to buy in the summer. That's the only reason I have an issue with this. But other than that, yeah, Cancelo, go be great. Just hopefully you guys, hopefully you suck against us if we play you. But other than that, do your thing. I don't hate the guy. I just have never really. I've always seen this side to him essentially, and I don't
yeah.
think a lot of people have until Pep says something like So
No, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, bro. It's really gonna be just something that I think they'll look back on and say we had a good player, did a lot of great things for us,
yeah,
but we wish him the best.
yeah.
And I think that's what it is. Both parties they benefit. Even though I say this is gonna hurt City, they get money and they still have a lot of players that are contend.
And
They're fine.
we've already heard talks about getting Ben Chilwell in the summer.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're already thinking about another left back.
right. But that creativity, those key moments, like you said, moments player, that's gonna be gone. So I can't wait to see in the Champions League where I can point out a moment like, damn, I remember when Cancelo whip that ball in and
Yeah, yeah.
right there. So uh, interesting to see. But I know you're very intrigued by this one because you got a lot of backlash as well for your Enzo Fernandez, take World Cup,
My take about just being realistic about his expectations, because here's what you don't want to do as a Chelsea fan.
right?
You do not want to put the same expectations on Enzo that the Liverpool fans put on Nunes, because it's not going to go well. That price tag is so massive.
It's record breaking. It's
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 disgusting. It's ridiculous. The guy has like 4 good games
hey,
in the World Cup, and it's like
what do they say? What do they say? When you do well in the World Cup, you get a nice hefty contract.
yeah,
James Rodriguez is one. Went crazy
very
with
yeah,
Colombia, and the
yeah,
next thing you know, he's the next golden boy. People are thinking the same thing with Enzo Fernandez.
yeah.
And let's be real. Hey, Argentina, I'm back again. It's your favorite boy. I am back.
Stop it, Jay.
He benefited, bro. It's okay though. He's a good player. I'm not denying that.
Good young
That
player for
price
sure.
tag though, let's be real. That price tag, fraudulent, capping. So what does that tell me? He benefited from the Argentina win, playing with Messi, getting hyped as the best young footballer in the world.
Yeah,
We disagree with that. We got slack when we said Mbappe, rightfully so because he doesn't qualify, but he's 24, 23. That's
but
technically young.
but not even
Like,
that, Jay.
come on,
Like,
like what are we doing here?
we're talking. Okay, let's not even compare him to Mbappe. Is
Right.
he better? Is he better than Jude?
Thank you.
You have
Hey,
to,
is he better than Jamal?
no. Like they're
Like, come
putting
on, let's be real.
they're putting on this crazy pedestal. Let's be
Yes,
honest. Let's be
yes,
honest here. 65, maybe 70% of the footballing world didn't even know who this guy was 2 months ago. Like, let's be honest here.
100%. I mean, you're gonna be like, oh, I watched Benfica.
Oh yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop it,
No, you
stop
didn't.
it. You
You
had no.
capping.
You thought, like, it's really one of those where, you know let's see what he can do. Bro, I'm
Let's see.
down. I, we're talking about Tottenham, man. It's hard to watch. Liverpool, really hard to watch. I'm watching. I'm tuning into every Chelsea game now. I'm tuning into
Oh yeah,
every single
bro.
minute.
They are assembling the greatest thing we've seen on turf.
It's the Avengers.
Right. I want to see what this plays out to be. You got Jao Felix over there with Enzo Fernandez now,
Mudrick.
Kai Havertz, Mudrick. Like, let me see what's cooking. I want to see what's good with y'all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no more excuses.
No more. The
You have
reality is, they put themselves in a position. And here's the thing: building a team takes time, right? And I think Potter should be given time, not only this season but
Graham
next season.
Potter. Yeah.
However, they've done so well this transfer window that they really should get an easy top 6, potentially top 4 this season. They have
Oh,
to finish out the season strong.
they have to get at least like top five.
Ha-
You have to be
like,
contending for something. I want
yeah,
to see you contending for something.
yeah, they
Uh,
have. They have to.
you know, uh, top four would be nice, but I don't know if they're gonna have that late of a push. But it's still early.
You
You
don't
know, it's
know,
not.
Jay.
You
That's
don't know. It's a good team.
how far off are they?
Let's see. Check it
So
out.
so okay, Manu and Newcastle are at 39. Chelsea's 10 points off, same amount of games. Chelsea can with that team. And listen, and
Hey,
by the way, we're talking about if Enzo
bro,
is as good
bro,
as we think
bro,
he is.
bro, bro, bro. If Chelsea somehow manages a way to get top four going into next season with that squad, we won't hear the end of "We are back."
Yo,
It's over. CFC here.
yo, it's gonna be crazy.
It's
And
gonna
by
be
the way,
crazy.
it's because they got top 4. It's not because they won anything. It's
You
just
feel
gonna
me?
be like,
Hey, and imagine Arsenal wins too. Oh
oh
my God! We're coming next year.
yeah, dude, it's gonna
Fake
be
title.
fake. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nasty.
One thing I do want to talk about though is the whole Todd Bowley. Obviously him
That's
coming in.
cheddar.
I mean, listen, it was a legendary run from Abramovich. He's literally was Chelsea.
Yes.
Obviously, the ownership switches, and this guy's come in and he's put the money on the table. Now, a lot of people have been talking about, how can you do this, all these deals? How can you spend 500, 600 million, all this stuff? And one of the points that we made was, hey, he can sell players, right? One of the players he did sell in this window, but you have to understand, bro, what they're doing, and we're praising, and we think they're going to maybe do something this summer, definitely next season.
Yeah.
What they are doing is similar to what Barcelona was doing with the whole. hey, we're going to borrow a bunch of money, we're going to sell a bunch of rights just so we can get money now, just so we can
Right.
buy players now. That's what they're doing, bro. They are putting so much pressure on the future because if these six, seven, eight, nine players that they brought in do not work, they're going to be so financially crippled for the next X amount of years. They're putting. Imagine Mudrick doesn't work. He's on an 8-year deal. Imagine Enzo doesn't work. He's on an 8-year deal. So you're going to have to take massive, massive, massive losses if these players don't work. So they have to work. They have to. And here's what that means. Let's say at the start of next season, Chelsea's not performing that well. New manager. Let's say they're still not performing that well. New manager. It's going
So
to be all on the manager because
right.
the players were expensive. Todd's not going to look at himself in the mirror and
So
be like, you know what, maybe I made the wrong decision.
so you what I'm hearing from you is just like the players are they can't be touched. It's what they say. So if the manager comes in there and he performs, we see that clearly he's a good manager, but numbers don't say that.
Yeah.
He's getting fired because we spent a lot of money with these players. It needs to work.
I think this
New
season he's
philosophy.
good. I think this season for the most part he's good. I think next season it's 3 game stretch of bad games. He's gone, 100%. Because again, you gotta remember these players. Obviously, the players are humans, but the contracts and their player rights, that's an asset to a club. That's an
Right.
asset to a business.
Right.
So, you know, we're talking about hundreds of millions of pounds worth of assets versus a coach who's maybe making 10 million a year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can easily replace the coach. They
Yeah.
can't easily replace these contracts, these assets. So, dude, I think that if it doesn't work, we might see Chelsea
Yeah.
mid-table for like the next 10 years. Like seriously, because it's just going to be financially impossible for them to get out of it. It really will.
Yeah. I mean, it's Chelsea. Just it's a team that you're always scared about because of reasons like that. They're not afraid to spend money.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs they talk about it. We want the big names, but it's always will our managers or our board back us.
Yeah.
With Chelsea, you're getting that.
You don't
There's
have
no
to
like
worry.
you don't have
Yeah.
to worry. And it's funny. I feel like we haven't really seen a manager at Chelsea that's really had, I guess, say in what he's wanted to do. And like his own
Yeah.
little philosophy because like Tuchel, yes, came in, but it was also you could tell, you know, he didn't really have the reins when things change. But I think if you put a person like Jose Mourinho in that position, for example, I think it's different.
I think it's different too. I think it
It's
does
different.
depend on the manager a
Yeah.
little bit. Graham Potter, at the end of the day, we can be as respectful as we want, but he does seem like a manager who's a little bit push comes to shove,
Yeah.
sort of like, okay, whatever you say, boss, type of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to take whatever he. I don't know if he's had
So how do
a
how do
lot of
you
say.
how do you feel about them giving up Jorginho? Then he's going to Arsenal now. Uh,
It's a robbery. It's a robbery.
on
J J 12 million for a guy who's 30, I think 1 years old, can't run faster than my mother. Was in these conversations about Ballon d'Or 3 years ago. He's been terrible since. All he's got to his game is penalties, and on top of that, he's only being signed for a year and a half. This guy is gone next summer, Jay. What is Arsenal thinking? We've just seen Sabitzer, who we will talk about, who is a much better fit as a either a replacement for Partey or for Xhaka. He's a much better fit, even for Odegaard. He can play all three positions
yeah.
in the midfield.
Yeah.
Yet you go for Jorginho,
Yeah.
who's going to give you little to no defensive coverage,
Yeah.
who can't run. It is, and for 12 million, 12 million, Jay. Like I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna be 4 or 5 mil. 12 mil, dude.
I think you're throwing too much on it, bro. It's
If
not
you're,
it's
it's an
not that
embarrassing signing. It's an
I
embarrassing
I, I
signing.
don't I disagree. I don't think it's that bad. You want to
Okay,
know why? Because like
okay,
he's coming in, and I think we all know we're not expecting that Jorginho you just described, the one that was Ballon
Ballon.
d'Or
Yeah,
nominee and all that good stuff, right? But I think he is like he was playing on a Chelsea squad that was terrible, and you can
and he was the
tell.
main reason. There's a reason why they're going for Enzo. Enzo's the replacement.
but then you can also say he was the main reason why they won the Champions League over you guys.
How many years ago?
You see what I'm saying though? So I think they got him for reasons like that. This we're Arsenal. We're new to the game. Listen, we're Arsenal. We're new to the game. We already know we have in a defensive midfield with Partey. You know, hopefully he's there when he's healthy and everything.
He's got to be healthy every game.
Right, exactly. So we do need a backup. Why not get this guy
He's not.
who's shown us before that he can perform? Just like you said, he's great at PKs. He's a specialist. So we're gonna put him in certain positions as Arteta, bro, as a Pep disciple, as you like to say.
Jay. Okay, listen, I've heard everything
Use
you
him as a
said.
specialist, bro. That's what Jorginho is. He's not meant to be a 90-minute player.
He's
No,
not.
you
He's
put him
not.
in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Give me a free kick that can possibly, that's why Jorginho is going to be there. I
Cool.
think he's going to play for moments like that. It's going to benefit Arsenal. And it's going to come back to bite you.
Whoa, okay. Couple things here. First off, of course, it's going to benefit Arsenal. They needed somebody. You know, if they signed me, it would have benefited Arsenal. They needed somebody, Jay. They needed somebody, and they got him. Jay, explain to me one, why he was 12 mil. Two, why you didn't get Tielemans for around the same price when you could
Yeah.
have.
Well,
Whose a contract is out in the summer. Three, why didn't you get a guy like Sabitzer who was
yeah.
available?
Well, when you get a Champions League, that's boom, 10 mil right there added to you off jump. I'm
Okay,
sorry, I don't. It is. It's just how it was written in the football world by the gods. I don't know what they said, but they said 10 mil for a Champions League. It's on your legacy. We don't care. That's what it is. I'm telling you. You look at Madrid. They got countless players over there who won a Champions League, but they got taxed a little bit too because they won that Champions League.
true. I understand that point. However, when you put yourself in a position where you need to sign somebody at the end of
Yeah,
the window, you, the reality is Chelsea could have said, yeah, 15 million, and they would have done it. They could have said 20 million, and they would have done it. They're at the mercy of Chelsea. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
bro, you needed a backup for
yeah,
Partey.
yeah.
And instead of paying an extra maybe 5-10 mil to get Casado, you get Jorginho. Bro, I'm so happy. Bro, I thought if they got Casado, bro, I'm like, you know what? I think we just chalk the season. We go for
Yeah.
Champions League. We hope for the best. Wide open now. Wide open. Because Partey will go down at some point during the season
Yeah.
for an extended period of time. And you're going to see how
Well, yeah,
bad that team will perform without him.
yeah. I mean,
It's gonna be a different team without him, Jay.
you think so?
Completely different. And you will see this guy Jorginho get exposed. You will see him get exposed. If he's starting in a big game, oh
Yeah,
my goodness. If Partey doesn't play against us,
yeah.
dude, I'm so when I actually saw that Jorginho knows, I'm like, okay, it's a troll. They're gonna get Casado. When it was confirmed, bro, I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm loving it. I'm loving it over here, Jay. I'm loving it. It
Well,
is interesting though that you're saying that like it's not a bad signing. Again, I don't think it's a good. It's 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 better than nothing. I think that's what a signing is. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Well, I mean, exactly. They needed something like you said, and he kind of fits that mold for them. He'll come in, probably plug it. Hopefully, that's what they're expecting.
that's what they're
You're
expecting.
throwing 12 mil, like you said. But you know,
I mean, you couldn't have got Tielemans for 15. He's barely even playing at Leicester.
well, that's true. And
And
we're thinking about getting him too, but we got somebody else.
yeah, you got the. I mean, Jay. I mean, let's just talk about it. Sabitzer, bro. I mean, there's always something.
Marcel.
There's always something that just gets me angry every day, and I think that news about Sabitzer was just like why? What you guys could have potentially dropped out of the top four with Ericsson.
Right. We lose Erickson. He's out for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah,
Damn. Fuck. Bruno got to take over now for real.
yeah.
God darn it.
And
This
then
is what I'm thinking.
and then January 31st comes and well,
And then
you just got to save him grace. Now the reality is we don't have to. I don't have to ask you the question. Is it a good signing? It's a great signing. It's a
yes,
great loan deal.
yes.
I have to ask you the real question, Jay. And I think people are trying to shy away from this.
Mm.
Is Sabitzer better than Ericsson? Is he better than Ericsson?
Right now, yes.
I think he's
I think prime Erickson I would take.
yeah.
Tottenham. I'm taking that Erickson for sure. But yeah, Marcel right now I think has it. He kind of fits what we want a little bit more.
Perfectly.
Very tenacious in the midfield, bro. We need something like that.
Imagine the starting your imagine that like last summer, right? And
Let's get it.
imagine I tell you your midfield too is Casemiro and Sabitzer.
Wait,
That's
wait,
nuts.
wait, and you haven't even heard anything about it. We got them in the midfield, right? But then
Right.
I have actual factual evidence from my boy ETH, who said there's a possibility that Sancho will be played as a 10 and also on the wing.
Yeah.
I've been telling people from the start he needs to be incorporated with the midfield a little bit more. Give him time to roam. We about to cook, baby. I know
Yeah.
y'all saw the little game against Nottingham Forest.
That was
I mean, I know
ridiculous.
it's Nottingham, but it to me, bro, we saw I think what we're heading to. You got the nice three coming off the bench: Sancho, Rashford, and Martial. Having that front three, like I said, with Sancho, Martial, and Rashford coming on, which is amazing. Inspiration. Saw what could be with us, and I think you mix in Marcel with that. Fill in for Ericsson. Casemiro, like you said, who is bro. I have to eat my words. I came out. I spoke very ill of the man. Um, I just wasn't too sold on, like I said, what was going to be long term. Like I wasn't surprised about the short term what he's doing right now, but I'm saying next year, 2 years from now, where's he going to be? But right
Yeah.
now, bro, I got to bathe in it. It's amazing, dude. He's all over the place,
Yeah.
all over the place, bro. So we're building something nice, and we shall see if we're going to get a title because we face Newcastle in the final.
I mean, Jay, let's be honest, Jay, you were scared of him, what, 2 weeks ago? Remember? I kind of exposed you a little bit. You seem like you're pretending like, you guys are the best team in the world. You just beat Man City. And then you come up to Newcastle. I'll be honest, before I kind of get your thoughts and predictions. I've disrespected Newcastle a little bit this season in the fact that I haven't just like sat down and be like, okay, I'm going to watch a Newcastle game.
Yeah.
I got to start doing it, bro,
Yes,
because
I
these guys
agree.
deserve my eyes. They deserve my attention. These guys are producing at a level that nobody expected, and now they're in the final.
I mean,
Bro, they're in a final.
well,
It's a
are,
big
are
deal.
are you really gonna say that we didn't expect that though? When they get the owner, and we all know it's gonna be money spent at that point.
This
Like,
season, they haven't got
so you,
anywhere
so you're
near
saying,
close to where that team's going to be.
so you're saying ahead of schedule.
Dude, they're 2 years ahead of schedule, bro. That's what I'm saying. Almiron, this guy was a laughing stock, and now he's one of the best wingers in
Yeah,
the
he was
league.
he was one of those like Chicharito's, like
Oh, he's 10 times worse.
Daniel James,
Yeah,
like
he's
good in the moment, a spark, but we didn't think he was gonna be consistent and doing what
not
he's
at
kind of doing
all.
right now.
Dude, talking about Longstaff and Willock, these guys
Yeah,
are like, we're not talking about the best players in the world here. So,
yeah.
however, sure, it's a big final for them, but it's also a massive final for you guys. The fact that Ten Hag's got in a final in his first
Oh,
season,
this is great, bro.
it's
This is
fantastic.
this is amazing for me because ah, Premier League, like, yeah, we want that, and we're making work in progress with that. But like, this is something we're getting on our own. This is personal for us. This builds character in the locker room.
Yeah,
Gets a mentality going. Very important. Like, I don't think we should go out with the best squad. There shouldn't be anything
oh,
left out. Like, I want to see Man U top form playing because this
100%.
this will mean everything, bro. We get this title, then we go in the next season having a taste of something, kind of ready for the Premier League.
What,
Like,
what, what was it? What was the last? What was your last final, Jay? What was your last final? It was the
was
Europa League. It was against Villarreal. It was Ollie. It was penalties. De Gea couldn't save like 10 penalties, and I think he missed like one. He missed his own pen.
look what you just said,
Ollie.
Ali.
And there we go. Isn't that the difference?
Hey, Ten Hag's gonna call you. Like, don't ever disrespect me.
Don't ever
Don't
disrespect.
you ever put me in this. But yeah, I mean, love Ali, great person. But just the levels in terms of getting teams ready for that moment. I think we're ready right now, bro.
Yeah,
And we're gonna see. We really are gonna see. Uh, it's gonna be a tough game, though. It's gonna be a tough one. I'm not expecting a rout,
yeah.
but I think we got it. I'm gonna go 2-1.
Oh, you're so safe with the 2-1. Come on, say
You,
3-0. Say you guys are gonna win.
you want me to wrap it up? Nah, it's gonna be 2-1, bro.
Okay.
We're gonna
Uh,
battle it out pretty closely, and then we're gonna bang it in at the end.
Listen, I expect you guys to win as well, unless you guys have some unforeseen injury. I
Yeah,
think you guys are maybe your only issue is maybe a one Basaka mistake. That's probably it,
yeah,
to
that's a
be
good
honest.
point. That's a good point. He is kind of careless sometimes.
Yeah, or maybe like a rash Bruno sending off, or just something like
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say, or I mean, I don't want to keep getting on the guy because I feel like I
You
do
should. He's
ride
just
him, but Bruno
he
does tweak sometimes, you know.
sometimes every game he's just yelling this. Oh God, I hate Bruno. Probably is the
Hey,
most hated player on the
he,
world.
bro, he's our captain. He's our captain,
Oh my God, imagine he holds up the trophy with Maguire. Oh my
bro.
God,
Oh my god, bro, that's stop it. I can't. Nah,
that's the
that
one. That's
was.
the if you guys. That's the one reason a Man U fan might not want you guys to win this trophy this season. It just you don't want to see Maguire
Hey,
hold up
that's
that
what I'm
trophy.
saying. Yeah, you guys do not want Bruno to get a taste of a trophy. If
Oh my
you
God,
think you've seen him go crazy now, oh.
dude, his Twitter's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. Nothing but Bruno highlights. Remember when I ran, 3 yards? It's like what? It's not even a highlight. Remember when I yelled at the ref, dude?
Oh shit, bro.
Crazy. Um, Obviously that's probably the best news that we've heard all week about Man U. Now we have to talk about some not so. It actually depends, Jay. And we let's be down the middle on this a little bit.
Yeah,
Obviously we can share our opinions, but there Mason Greenwood's name has been trending on Twitter every single month for like ever since he got ever since the situation unfolded. Right,
yeah,
he's now back. Let's be honest and let's just paint the picture. You guys are struggling up front.
yeah,
A significant portion of your fan base really, really wants him to be playing again.
yeah,
He's only 21, I
yeah,
believe, which is crazy because it felt like he fell off the earth. He's only 21.
yeah.
Jay, we can talk about the actual legal situation all we want, but we're not lawyers. We don't know what the hell we're talking about. We've only
Mm-mm.
seen what everyone else has seen,
Right,
and as a result, we've made our judgments. But
right.
it's in Man U's it's in the Manchester United boardroom, directors,
Yeah,
manager. It's in their hands. Like what happens with Greenwood? What happens with his career? Does he stay the length of his contract? Does he
yeah,
go on loan?
yeah,
Does he get reintroduced this season, next season? Talk to me, Jay. What are you thinking?
yeah. Well, charges were dropped, so like you said, at this point, he it's no more of that.
Yeah.
That's not an ongoing issue at all. And Man U is going to do, an investigation on their own to see what they're going to come to terms with, right?
Yeah.
At this point, but I'm thinking this has been ongoing for about a year or so now, right?
A little over a year, I think.
A
Yeah.
little over a year,
Because
right?
he
A
was
year
he
and a
was still
half,
he was still on the team when Ronaldo was there.
right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do your own investigation during that point as well? Like I get you want to wait till like the point it's over, quote unquote, so then you can, I guess, assess. But during that time, you're following the whole event.
Yeah.
I would think you would already have an idea of where you're headed with it. It wouldn't be really a delay again, right?
Okay. Yep.
Charges are dropped. He's 21, 20.
21. Yep.
I'm going off of facts. I'm keeping it strictly as like, football. You're getting players. I believe Ten Hag, when he came over, he said he's going to wait till an investigation was over. And if he was found innocent, he will probably have a spot in his team or some shit like that, right?
Okay. I think I remember something like that in like preseason, right?
Preseason, yes, yes.
Okay. I don't want to speak. I don't want to
I
like
don't,
say the wrong quotes, but I
right,
think it was
exactly.
something along those
Something
lines.
along those lines, exactly. Not even quote for quote, but from my knowledge, I'm gonna let United do what they do, bro.
Yeah.
But I, s- I see why not let them like another shot. I don't care. I don't care. Like to me, it means nothing because I'm going off of facts. It's been dropped,
Yeah. I
and
think it's a fair point.
you strung it along this much. Like, what is what are we getting to here? You know?
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's the point, right? Like
yeah,
what's next? Are you going to continue to be mad about what happened 10 years from now? Like
right,
like like when is it okay for Mason Greenwood to go back to football? I
right.
think that's the question.
And then it's a double standard because there are players out there who have been in the same situations who are still playing for teams. I'm not condemning or saying that anything is right, anything's wrong. But what I'm saying is, if we're going off of facts, and he's been dropped of all charges, He's
What?
still a member of the team, but
Yep.
suspended. To my knowledge, the manager wanted him. Well, not wanted him, but he found interest in him because he thought he was talented.
Yeah.
These are all positives, and I get it. It's a moral, it's an ethics, character. You probably don't want that on your team or your club, and I respect that.
Yep.
But I'm gonna let United play with it. I'm gonna see what they do. I'm indifferent on the issue. To me,
Okay.
it is it is what it is at this
And
point.
I think that's actually a good stance. I think some people are like,
Do you
put him in the
support it?
team.
Right,
I
right,
think some people are like, put him in the team. Some people are like, keep him away forever, like terminate his contract, all this stuff. I think there's so many ways to look at it, but I think, eh, typically when you're indifferent, you're not really making a decision. I think in this case, when you're indifferent, you are making a decision. And your decision is, listen, there's a few acceptable outcomes for this whole situation. You know, whether he gets reintroduced to the team, in the summer, maybe he gets reintroduced and goes on loan in maybe another country, just, so, time is Manchester United's friend right now, right? The more
right,
time goes along, the more people will be like, you know what, maybe he has served a punishment, which he has. He's already been punished by, being out of the team for so long. And obviously, I think we can all agree, based on what we've seen, it's kind of justified.
right,
But
right.
I think we get to a point now with Greenwood where,
It's
for
it's at this point. It's like, are we keeping this from a factual standpoint, or are we just going off of I like or I dislike?
exactly.
This is
And
what it's coming to a lot, and I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair because then at that point it's just like the popularity contest.
yep.
We're not feeling that. Like, nah. Like, no. How is that? How does
and
that make any sense?
here's the big question. I think this question can sort of hit at the intentions of some of the people that are giving their opinions. If you guys had a quality number 9, let's just be honest. Let's say you guys had Osman now. Are you really going to be as desperate for Mason Greenwood to come back? Let's just be honest. Because the big reason of why you want a guy like that to come back, from just football reasons, is because he would probably start if he was healthy and on form. He would probably start over Veghorst and Martial. He's
Yeah,
probably, So it's
and
like, that's a real player that can help you guys secure top 4 and potentially a trophy.
right. And I also understand the other side of it. A lot of people don't want Mason Greenwood on the squad because one, what he's accused of doing
Yeah.
and all that stuff, right? But also how that would basically just taint what we have going on right now. Moving in a
Yes.
positive direction. Why would you take in something that can possibly
Derail your
derail
season.
everything we've accomplished so far, right?
Eh, Yeah. No, it's a good point, and that's why I think, and there's a couple acceptable options. I don't think an acceptable option is to bring him into the team right now. I think that would be
No,
unacceptable
no,
for
no,
Manchester United.
no. I I I think reassess them, like you said, right? Whole season off.
Whole season off.
You slowly bring him back preseason next season. You know, kind of
I-
just get his mental right. Kind of the same thing with Sancho. Rehab basically.
yep.
Send him rehab. Get fixed real quick. Do what you got to do to get your mental right, your physical right.
I think the biggest sort of issue, or I think the one thing that Manchester United want to stay away from, I don't think they want to go down the route of listening to Twitter.
No,
I think it's
no.
going to be a really, really bad decision if you just hear the loudest voices talk about play him right away, or he should never play for the club again. You guys have to make a legitimate decision.
He does
And
not come. Yeah, bro. He does not see the pitch
he doesn't
anytime soon.
he
Like,
does not see it for the rest of the season.
this is one layer to it, right?
Yeah.
We found out something that everyone wanted to know. Had this investigation going on. Our star boy, quote unquote, taken out of nowhere, and now it's like, okay, we have another side to it now. That's not going on anymore. What do we do? It's the gray area.
Yep.
Do we accept them back into society and say this is acceptable, or do we say no? You're the black sheep now. You get nothing.
And I think this is that's such a great point, right? Because if you're looking for the judicial system and maybe even the prison system to be about reform and turning people's lives around, and you made a bad mistake but you can change and be a better person, and second chances and all this stuff,
Yeah,
then I think if you believe in all that, then I think this is a great opportunity to back a decision to keep Greenwood either at Manchester United or continuing to play football at the level that he's actually at.
Right. In the prim.
But
Exactly.
at the
Somewhere.
same time, at what point do you know, accept the fact that this he's a at the end of the day, sure he's young, but he's still a grown man and he still made his decisions.
Yes.
And what consequence and what punishment is just for those? Now, again, legally, nothing's come of it.
Right.
The only reason we're talking about this is because it's complicated. And the reason it's complicated is because we've seen evidence displayed on social media,
Right.
which is not normal, by the way. So it's like
Exactly. Like everyone's invested a little bit too much. It's too much information flowing
yes,
around, right?
yes,
And that's my whole thing. We're living in an era of, disinformation. You have to be very cognizant of what you're receiving and who you're receiving it from, because you
yeah.
don't know if it's true or not. And I'm not saying what was said was true or not true, but I'm very cognizant of questioning everything.
Question everything exactly. It's not about believe this person, don't believe
Right.
that person. Just yeah, question everything, accept everything as it is.
Yes.
And I think here's what I would, I'm going to kind of go on a limb. Obviously, it's not my club, so maybe it doesn't hold as much weight. But if I was Manchester United, one, he doesn't play for the rest of the season. You spend the rest of the season again doing the Sancho sort of treatment, right? Like individual training, get him up to speed. If he even wants to play football anymore, which hopefully he does, because he's a fantastic talent. You don't want to just waste your life away doing something you're not great at
Yeah.
because of this situation.
Crazy.
At the same time, though, he does deserve the booze when he comes back. He does deserve the criticism. It is what it is. You're gonna have to take that. But yeah, you spend the rest of the season getting his mind right, getting his body right, getting his fitness right, and then you let Ten Hag assess in the summer: is this a guy who can fit in our team, or do we ship him out on loan in either the championship, maybe, or again, I think maybe overseas would do him well for a year,
Yes.
kind of just get it out. He if he plays in England every single time he touches the ball, and I mean every single time, he will get booed.
Oh, bro, it'll be crazy.
And
But you like you just made a phenomenal point. Let Ten Hag assess him,
yes,
see if he's
yeah,
ready or not, and
eh,
then maybe we'll ship him out. Cause you want to know why? We're not getting we're not giving him gratification of coming back to a squad like this who's
yeah,
winning and be like, I'm a part of it. No, you got to earn that. Only
yeah.
earn your stripes. What you did for us prior to that was amazing. We get that, but then you hit a roadblock. You went through a whole situation where you know we're still not even too sure about. We're still in the unknown,
Yeah.
but you're proving yourself to us again.
That's interesting, right? And I think another thing that maybe Manchester United as the club can do is they can sort of hide behind the Ten Hag decision, right? Because if you're Manchester United, if you're one of the board members or something like that, you've made terrible decisions over the last 10 years. Your fans aren't happy with you. But if Ten Hag makes the decision of like, yo, we want this guy back in our team start
Yes,
of next season,
yes.
I think fans will be like, you know what? If he said it's okay, I trust his decision, and I think that's what's so important for the fan base to do. Again, it's your fan base, not mine. But
That is my major takeaway from like this conversation at least. Um, it's really gonna come down to Ten Hag. He can make this thing either disappear or he can make it spark.
yeah,
Like it's gonna come down to him.
and once again, it's going to come down to him, right? I mean, how much has he had to deal with this season? It's been ridiculous, and now he's probably like another headache. This guy,
Another one?
we're talking about manager of the year. Give him Nobel Peace Prize. Give him all those
Uh,
prizes. Whatever award that you can possibly give a human being, you give it to this man because he is. I mean, Sancho, Ronaldo,
Bro,
Maguire,
he had Jaden coming back smiling, shaking up, hugging people.
bro. Rashford went from one of the most
Oh,
depressed looking
bro,
strikers in
bro,
history
bro.
to one of the happiest.
And I don't want to take away from the other party here because everyone it's an unfortunate event, right? But
Yeah,
I think reform is good. I believe in that. I
yeah,
love that. And we're seeing with Ten Hag, especially on the football field. But even off that, he sent Sancho on to rehab to mentally get right. You know, that means a lot to me.
yeah.
I would love to see that for Greenwood. I don't want to see anyone down, bro.
I think everyone in football should want at
Come on,
least him to get better mentally, or else what's the point of you getting angry about
like
it?
exactly, like skip football here mentally. Like I want to see him as a better individual. Why wouldn't we want that? We should stop lowering someone down and talking down on them because they made a mistake.
But then again, the flip side, and this is why it's so weird. It's like, okay, this guy's making millions. He's one of the most talented footballers in the world. Like, how much is there a sort of privilege that he's receiving that we don't think as society is just? And
Right.
I get
It's a
that point
fine
as
line.
well.
Right. It's a fine line, bro.
It's a
It's
fine
just,
line.
it's really what you truly hold at heart and what you value.
Yeah,
And we're gonna see with Man United what they value.
yeah.
Is this
And
ethics or is this football?
and here's the thing, and
Hmm.
there's so many sides to it, right? Like, for example, let's say they do sell Greenwood for let's just say 10 mil, right? Let's just say it's for 10 mil.
Okay.
Don't you think there's gonna be critics that say like, "Oh, you profited off a guy that did X, Y, and Z"? Of course, there's. So
So it's a
you're
lose lose.
it's a lose, 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 lose. Whatever situation, there's a lose at the end of it. Which is why, again, Manchester United cannot, and I mean they cannot listen to Twitter. They
They
cannot
can't.
listen
They
to the
can't.
mob.
They,
They
they
have
have.
to make the
Oh,
right
bro.
decision and then explain that decision. And they have
There,
to take the heat that comes with it.
there needs to be a room, a war room, with the heads. Ten Hag, me, Wayne Rooney. We're all sitting down talking about it, bro. We need to come to a decision, a joint decision, because it's gonna shape everything for us. We're gonna be, bro. In the future, we're either gonna have good chance or it's gonna be some bad chance.
Yeah.
So like it's what it comes to.
But I think at the end of the day, he can be redeemed. Again, I think the most unfortunate thing for him is that the evidence was, again, all over the world. It was on the internet.
Right.
Um, I think we're having a very different conversation if it wasn't. If we're gonna bro, he would be back in
Ah,
the
that's
team.
facts. That's
Yeah,
facts.
he would be back
That
in the
is
team.
facts. I did not look at it like that, bro. Because like you said, everything got dropped. But what I've seen at least, thing that's been holding against him still is we saw the evidence though.
We
We saw the facts,
we seen it.
right?
We heard it. We
Right.
we we read
But
it.
my whole thing is if that was the evidence and the facts, then why did it get dropped?
And
And
then
then
there's
there's
legal stuff that goes into that in terms of
right,
like the victim and not
right,
what maybe not want to press charges. There's maybe there's a financial agreement that they came to terms with.
right.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that could have happened. Again, we're not the legal people here. We're not going to just say like, well, this is what happened. We don't know. All we can kind of give is our opinions based on the situations that are
Speculation.
happening. And the reality is, we're going to have this conversation again at some point when
It's
he
a
does
crazy
either
one.
get exactly, it's crazy when he does get reintroduced to the team or moves on to another club. We're going to be talking about it. Um,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I like that you brought it up because it is a conversation that needs to be had.
yeah,
You know, um, it's right there in front of us. Can't avoid it, and it's real, bro. Like people go through that every day. So it's a topic that needs to be talked about, and
yeah,
we've seen it a lot in the past, like athletes, not even just in football, but basketball, everything. They kind of get a just a slap on a shoulder, on the wrist, and say, "Hey, it is what it is,"
yeah,
and people want them to be held accountable, right?
yeah,
But it's like, how do we then distinguish that from people who aren't even quote unquote found guilty of that?
yeah, exactly. And I
He
think
wasn't
that,
found guilty, so like, who am I to say? Like, I'm not the judge and juror right here. That's
yeah,
not me.
and I don't want to take it off the Greenwood situation, but I
Yeah,
think it connects. I mean, Benjamin Mendy. I think
right.
maybe
People want to say
two
it.
weeks. I think maybe 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
he was found not guilty for like 7 of the 9 uh, cases against him.
right,
When I heard about all the Benjamin Mendy cases, I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to jail. He's
right,
done. And obviously, did go to jail and stuff like that. Bro, I'm not saying he now comes back into football and all
right.
this stuff, but bro, like it's just a great example of we don't know. You and I do not know. So let's stop pretending like we can just go on Twitter and say we need Greenwood back or Greenwood should stay away from football forever. Because both of those extremes, they put you in a very vulnerable position if something else happens. So if you say I want Greenwood back right away and it comes out that there's more information about what Greenwood did and he's gonna get like then it's good, you're gonna look stupid. Now, on the same time, if you're like, for example, Mendy should never touch a football again. But then it comes out that he was completely innocent. Then again, you look stupid. So I think it's just a great example of accept everything that comes, make
Yes,
your sort of reasonable take or opinion, and just try and keep it moving. Again, I want to see a situation where maybe Greenwood gets the rehabilitation
yeah,
and then starts playing great football again because he was a fantastic footballer over the maybe 2 years that we've seen him.
yes,
But that's the most hopeful thing that that we can ask for, right?
right.
So yeah, overall, really really sticky situation. But I think if it can end on a decent note, that's better than him just being depressed for the rest of his life and not playing football ever again. I don't think that
It's
benefits
not
or serves anybody.
right. It does not benefit society, bro. We need less of that. Like, what end does that lead to? Like, we just don't want to go down that road.
Yeah,
And I think we have to go off the facts. That's the one thing we do know.
we just
That's
have
the
to.
one thing we do know. We have to go off the facts. We shouldn't leave it to assumptions or you know a test of my opinion or like no,
Yeah,
it's not.
100
It's not fair to anybody here. So
100%. 100%. So yeah, with that, I guess that kind of ends episode 58. Typically we're ending it on a smile, and I think that was as positive a conversation as you kind of really get around this topic.
yeah, tough one.
Um, yeah,
But
maybe we can cut this up and put it to the comments section. What do you guys think? Are you guys sort of the pro Greenwood comes back? You never want to see him again. A little bit in between, indifferent, like Jay was talking about. Obviously, we don't want to hear your legal opinions because you're not lawyers. Even if you say you are, you're not. But yeah, leave that into the comments. Again, we'll post this whole thing. We'll post probably some clips as well of this. But yeah, episode 58. Big games coming up this weekend. Hopefully Everton and Sean Dice can drop points for Arsenal.
hopeful,
That'd be
bro. You're
beautiful.
very hopeful.
I'm very hopeful. Very hopeful.
Arsenal. They just low key extended Martinelli too. So get ready to see him just go cook.
Not the
He
biggest
got
fan of
some
Martinelli, but
bread.
I'm not the biggest fan of Martinelli. But we'll talk about that another day.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan. I'm a hater, Jay. Let's just let's just be honest. No, but with that, you can find all of our content on TikTok. We just hit over 700 followers, so thank you.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Thank you.
yep.
Much love.
Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at the Best of Rivals. You can find this podcast everywhere, including YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast at the Best of Rivals podcast. So with that, episode 58, myself, Jay, we are out.
Deuces, baby.